I just loaded a new mag, and for some reason, my pistol won't fully go into battery. Oh. Well, that's new. Oh, I guess that's enough of that for today. Yeah, always test your stuff before you carry it, so. So that's my adventuring for today. Shot some guns, sold some parts, and got some in and out. Happy Tuesday for me. You too. Thank you. You too. Christ, that's hot. Thank you. You too. It's the weekend, so that always means projects. So last time I went out shooting, I had problems with my trigger on my AR, so I got a new one to try out. I've never tried a two-stage before. I also had an issue with my Max Trax mount that I originally had on my truck, which was originally 3D printed. Now I'm just going with a full steel solution to it. I'm working on another SIG project as well. So I got a slide and threaded barrel combo. Then I got new target stuff as well. I've had the same sets of targets and stands for a while now, so I thought it'd be worth getting some new ones. And it's been a couple of years since I last had VR, and I saw this on sale for like 50 bucks off, so fun weekend. So 4-inch targets, 6-inch target, a new target stand for a 1x2 posts, because I shot the shit out of my last one. Bed track for my pickup because my trim level is so low. It doesn't have one in the front, only has one on the sides. The target stand came with some free targets though. And then the mounting hardware for the metal plates that will hold the Max Trax pins. I'm gonna go try and do that today before it gets ridiculously hot. It's supposed to be 100 for the rest of the week. Also forgot to mention I got a 3D printer a couple weeks ago. Made some fun little things. Just random ass knickknacks, as you do with a printer. Man, it's not even noon yet, and it's already 91 degrees, which is 32 degrees Celsius for the non-freedom people. So yeah, this is an OEM track, or I believe it's an OEM bed rail. And the mounts from Ragu Fabrications, and pins from actual Max Trax. So hopefully this will go together pretty well. I hate that these aren't the type of T-nuts that you can just drop in and rotate. Sometimes people will ask me why I'm wearing a beanie this time of year. Well, I've worn this hat for 15 years, so it's not very insulative, and it's not to make a statement or sense of fashion. I have jet black hair, and in the heat, in direct sunlight, it sucks. I'd rather have a slightly warm head than a heat headache from the sun beating down directly onto me. But funnily enough, even though it's about 95, 96 right now, it's overcast. I think there's a chance of rain too. Yeah, that doesn't look half bad. It's actually sturdy. I'm going to lunch. Can I have half chow mein, half fried rice, and then orange chicken and chicken teriyaki? can round up.
Okay, thank you.
So this is the 3D printed mount that I replaced with full metal setup. It's like a 3D printed full ABS mount from Etsy. And there's that center hole where it bolted into the front of the bed, where the bed rail now is. And then just sheared in the middle. I've had this for at least a year or two now, so it did last a good amount of time. But now I have something more secure and metal. So this is the AR I'm going to replace the trigger on. The problem is, last time I was going out shooting, it had an issue with the trigger. I have 3 of these triggers, and this is the only one that's given me problems so far. So I might get it warrantied out, but for now I'm just going to replace it with a new trigger from LaRue. I've never had a 2-stage before, so I decided this would be an opportunity to try it out. So let's get cracking. .3/16. Just need to knock this loose enough so I can get the safety detent clear. So that should be enough to clear the detent on that safety. Yep. Now just take this anti-walk pin off. These are Strike Industries anti-walk pins. Yep, an LE 145 from Rise Armament. So for those that don't know, a double stage trigger is, it has 2 parts to the trigger pull instead of just one. Instead of just the moment you start pulling the trigger, you feel that resistance and then the brake. A 2-stage is you have a bit of a partial trigger pull that releases the hammer part way, and then a shorter pull to release it completely. So it has this other disconnector claw here in front of this disconnector, and then there's the sear surface. So, or at least those are the terms I understand it as. So before this one busted, I was getting an average of maybe 4.5 pound trigger pull. This one's supposed to give me also about a 4.5 pound trigger pull. 2.5 on the first pull, and then 2 on the final stroke. Then they added an extra heavy spring just in case I want to bring it back 6 pounds or 7 pounds. Put the safety in. So now we can put this back together and test the trigger. Okay, so let's test the sucker. Here's the first pull. It's about 2 pounds, and then 310. Wow. Okay, so how's that reset feel? Not as crisp as the last trigger, but take up's a little under 2 pounds, and wow, it's still under 4. This was rated for a 4 to 4.5. 3.7. Average is 3.9, so 3.5 pounds. And hopefully this won't give me problems like my other trigger. Okay, so the AR's done. Now time for the SIG. Here is an FCU from a P65X macro. Here is a safety and a safety detent, because 365s don't usually come with a manual safety. Extractor. This is an Armory Craft spring kit. Replacement S8 tool steel striker. Attack Dev trigger. Put these away. Got a recoil spring system from DPM. Tracker slide from Shallotech. And then fluted threaded barrel with a Griffin Armament cam lock, which is for my suppressor, which allows for quick attach and quick detach. I have a few pistols that use this system as well. So It's a nice system. Can't forget the sight for the slides and an Icarus Precision grip module, aluminum grip module. This has survived a couple builds already. It's got a Hogue handle grip. So this is going to be my next build. It has similar parts to my previous build, which I have shot. I have videos of me shooting, so no time like the present to get started on this. So we'll start with this bottom unit first. And that's all the internals of this FCU. And then now we also got to take apart the slide, which I did put together, but I do need to get access to replace the striker. So I just put this together to do a quick test fit. Safety block goes down, striker comes out. And then I need to put the extractor in. Almost forgot about that. It's a T10, ain't it? Gonna put this back on for now. So that's a slide. Now I'm gonna hammer on my sights. I won't have a moment to zero them in. Probably will fine tune them in a bit. Just need to get them started. All right, sights are on-ish. So let's put this FCU together. Mustn't forget the recoil springs. I basically have these DPM springs in all my pistols, and it's not that they need them, but it does make the recoil impulse feel a lot nicer. So it comes with 3 different spring weights. I got the lightest one on. They got a spring here, and then they got a 3rd spring inside. So it's like triple nested springs. There you go, fully upgraded, and now I got a spare. So yeah, this one can actually be suppressed. But yeah, I'm gonna fine tune the sights, fine tune the trigger, but this is basically done. So I confirmed 0 on these sights as best I can. I cleaned off the brass marks. Everything's pretty much set up on this now. I got the trigger pull good. Actually, let's test the weight. We'll try to keep them both consistent. So they're both from the bottom. So it is averaging 3.2. So this is staying pretty consistent. But this new pistol, it's averaging 3.9. This one feels smoother, but this has been broken in. It has a couple hundred rounds through it already. This one's brand spanking new, so I don't think I'll put an optic on this one. I'll keep this one slim, so when I carry it in my waistband, I won't have too many edges on it to poke me.